Hey, it's MK. Welcome back to my channel. I thought that I would do another baby album page, and this one is going to be the first family photo. And I've already done a bunch of prep work because this page is pretty much, I'm going to say 95% Cricut. I cut out the titles already, and I've already glued them on because who wants to watch that? And I already cut out an embellishment because it's all about the photo. Now, I wasn't really sure exactly how big people print their photos type thing, and so I just basically designed this all on my Cricut, trying to figure out how can I make the photo the big impact but yet still have a really cool first family photo title with, of course, it's a camera because it's a photo. I left the negatives of the of this really cool large Polaroid along with this heart because I plan on putting this back in so that way they can know what size they print their picture. Hopefully, in fact, I always leave instructions when I make albums for people, but then they can measure this, or they can take an 8x10 or even a 5x7, and they can either use this to mount their photo however they want to do it, and then they know, that it fits right in here perfectly. Kind of, sort of. I have it turned, but it fits in here absolutely perfect for them to place their photo on. If they want to use some foam to pop it up, they can do that as well. And then the same with the heart. I wasn't sure if I was going to use washi to put the heart back in or pop the heart back up. I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to do, but I do know that when I set my machine to draw all of these frames on here, the rollers picked up the ink on the edges right here and right here. And so now I have, you guys can't see it, that's pretty cool. So now I have all of these ink spots from the imprint of the rollers picking up the ink from the previous and then putting it in here. And then of course this little dilly doodad was when it ejected it, when I unloaded it. So go that, and then it's also over here. So to remedy that, I thought I would grunge this paper up just a hair, and I wanted to get on and do a little introduction of the materials that I'm using. So I designed this in my Cricut. I designed all the elements. I didn't design the elements in the Cricut, but I used a canvas, a digital canvas to place everything, and that's how I got all my sizes and measurements and stuff. So, but I want to mostly film how I fix my mess up of the rollers picking up the ink, and I had no idea it was going to do that. So how I'm going to do that is with more grungy stamps, right? If it looks grungy, it is grungy. So what I have here is I have a stamp, a mixed media type stamp from Prima, and it's just messy text. You can't even read it. You can't even tell what it says. So I've got a messy text, and then I have these two stamps here from this Stampin' Up! Set called Label Me Bold, and I picked this kind of splotchy, looks like splatter, real close-up splatter, and then of course the little dots. So I picked those up, and then the ink that I'm going to be using is 3 Close to My Heart inks. There's Pewter, Carolina, and Pixie. So those will be the ones, because this is kind of the color scheme that I'm doing throughout this entire baby album. She's asked for pink and blue because it is a twins baby album, one boy, one girl. So it has been a challenge for me, instead of doing all blues or blue and green and yellow, and then you've got your pink and purple, and so this has been quite a challenge, but it's been fun. So I am going to practice a couple of the stamps, like what is the combination that I want to do before I do it on here. And I have a scrap of this. This is linen. Nope, I lied. It is pewter. It's this. It's Pebble. So it's a Pebble cardstock, and I have a scrap right here that I plan on. It's double-sided. I know I keep telling you guys this all the time, that Close to My Heart's cardstock is double-sided. I'm using the lighter side of the pewter. So what I plan on doing is basically stamping a few of these and seeing what is my favorite combination. Do I want to stamp this in pewter, which is the darker, it's the medium tone gray, because they have 3 grays. They have Pebble, pewter, and chalkboard? No, charcoal. So did I want the words in pewter and then this in the blues and the pinks and this in the blues and the pinks, or this in pewter, you know, these in blue and pink, and I don't know yet. So I'm going to do that with you guys, and then I'm going to go back to my big page and stamp just around the edges where the frames are. I'm not going to stamp where I don't have the frames. So well, let's see if I can make a disaster or if I need to print another one. All right, let's go. All right, so the first thing that I do is I zoomed in close so you guys can kind of sort of see what it is that I'm doing. And I got to tell you that my very first try is exactly the way that I was envisioning it and loved it and expected it. So of course I had to finish it a little bit more just in case I wanted to use that piece for something else later in the album. And so yeah, I am stamping these words. Now I'm just curling up the stamp. They're still on their carrier sheet, and I'm just curling it up and kind of like rocking it in the ink and then rocking it on the paper. I don't want an exact, like, full-blown stamped image. I was trying to get it to go all Miss Wordy and stuff like that. If that makes any sense, I don't know. And then of course I'm doing the large blotches in pink and blue and kind of overlapping them slightly, but not really. I want them to be prominent. And then I love this little Just Messy dot stamp. I know that it is a very small impact, but I absolutely love the effect that it has on it. And to grunge it up just a hair more, I am just taking my blender brush and doing it in the pewter all the way around and throughout the frames where I felt like there was a blank spot. So here's the close-up. You know, there was nothing really to any of this stuff. Like I said, I designed the frames in the Cricut and just put them on a mat and kind of attached them together to get them to print out like that. And now I'm just going to place my Cricut pieces all together. They were already glued. Well, they didn't come that way. I glued them off camera, and then I glued them again with off camera because basically it's me gluing paper. It's very boring. I use an ATG gun, and then of course I use a liquid glue. Depending on what I have on hand is what I use. That's all there is to it. I did pop up the pieces on the camera, so that way it kind of gives it some dimension because I didn't want a flat layout. Now these little glitter pieces are from Close to My Heart, long time ago. And that's about it. I mean, it's done. It's ta-da! I just really wanted to show you guys the technique and how it turned out. And here are the close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys also come back for the next one. Thanks for joining. See ya!